been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
Villain, nigga. Cursed in the Bible, Torah and Quran. I was here before the book of Psalms. Don't need fake lords to confess my wrongs. I'm guilty. She got on a villain brawn thumb. Bearing witness to prophecy. My mind is connected to the Sirius galaxy. Hopped out the spaceship in Louis, and your face spitting loogie. Get smacked with a Martian Tubi, I'm unruly. Yeah, my watch got meteorites in the bezel. Travel to hell's fixated for his jewelry, goofy. Keep something under the armor, huh? 40 count black like Obama.
Evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
Glock pop, sirens flash, liquid dim light, dead and shock trauma. Yo, Music Talk Mondays, what's going on? What's going on? Back again, once again. Yo, hope everybody had a good weekend, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to jump straight into this one. Akademiks, man. He just keep putting his foot in his mouth. Your boy shook, you know what I'm saying? Top 5, you know what I mean? Got self-true love, born in the neck, you know what I mean? So, you know, your man just feeling real uneasy right now. I think all that feeling like close to him, like coming home, like it's close to him, you know what I'm saying? Like things are just happening around him, you know what I mean? Drake spiraling, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just not good. Mercury retrograde is in full effect right now. It's in full effect right now, man. Wow. That's all I can say. Well, it is what it is. But we're going to get into some rapperholics real quick. Akademiks, man. I can't take the foot off his neck. You know what I mean? I got to do what I got to do so you guys can have what you need to have. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hold up. Here we go.
All this is going on, and SZA is really hurting Nicki Minaj's feelings. DJ Snacka Diddler, the Graham Goggling, Henny Hoggling, hip-hop hippopotamus, he decided to take the liberty of jumping into this entire kerfuffle. I mean, it was actually his little Big Mac minion who runs his Twitter page, but we're going to get to that. See, Akademiks a couple years back, he had his fair share of issues with SZA himself. SZA also hurt Akademiks' feelings, and, you know, Akademiks, he's very self-aware. He knows that he should really work on his phobia of salads. He knows, like, he's made a lot of money. He really needs to start investing in a Bowflex, maybe a treadmill for his basement. He acknowledges that, you know, he himself is built like a reverse pyramid, but when SZA hurt his feelings, he decided that he was the right guy to take the liberty of telling SZA that she needs to shed some weight.
You love to eat. You are an eater. I like to eat too. But chicks like you, I'm going to go with the gut. Y'all going to catch me with the Gucci Man gut. Y'all going to have to deal with that. They already see my gut on the gram. Like, I've been trying to work out, like, you know what I mean? I had an in-girl on the hairs. I don't care. I'm a but y'all be fat just like me, looking like a linebacker's, your neck thick as like a 32 pack of Franks, and now y'all acting like y'all bad. You fat as
So, you know, Akademiks is talking about how much he loves to eat, but this really upset SZA. And it was actually Drake at the time who was trying to get SZA on a couple songs for his albums For All the Dogs, and he called up Akademiks. And you know Akademiks, he really loves Drake, right? He'll do anything for Drake, and that's going to play an important role very shortly. But Drake called him and said, listen, I don't want to sue you because you do a great job at latching onto my log, but please just apologize to SZA. You know, walk back those comments you made because I'm trying to get her on my album and you really upset her feelings, even though you were talking about how much you like to eat and how many hairs you have on your gut. So Snacka Diddler did. He apologized, but him and Nicki Minaj, they share a couple common enemies. It's not just SZA, it's also Roc Nation, Desiree Perez. They think that, you know, Roc Nation had conspired against Tory Lanez, and that's the reason why he's in prison currently with the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation. So Akadiddler TV, the propaganda Twitter account that is run by one of the Big Mac minions, they wanted to get in on the fun, so they posted this picture, or these 3 pictures of SZA trying to clown her. Now, they did end up deleting this picture, but Punch had responded to it saying, you know, Akademiks, Didn't you say that the homeboy personally writes the captions for the Academics TV Twitter page, or were you capping when you said that? Now, most people thought when Punch said, the homeboy, he was referring to Grand Wizard Chat Guy. That's the name of the really lovely individual who runs the Academics news account on Twitter, and he's turned this into a full-blown propaganda machine. He makes
One thing I gotta say about that, he says he has no control over the page, but you do because it's your page. You just let somebody run it. So you do have the say so in what a person posts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm a little bit confused. Like how can't you tell a dude not to post certain things, or you know what I mean? Like you gotta have some type of limitations on that person. You know what I mean? Because he could just be outlandish like he is right now.
some really vile, disgusting comments. He's a vile human himself just by the name that he goes by, right? Look up Grand Wizard if you want to understand where the origins of his name actually derive from. And how did he get into the mix? Well, Academics was initially very good friends.
Well, I'm just saying, Grand Wizard, right? There's somebody in hip hop that we had a long time ago, Grand Wizard Theodore. All right. So remember that name, research that name, Grand Wizard Theodore. But it don't have nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, like this guy on Axe page, though.
Friends with this guy who goes by the name Lil Boom. Now, Lil Boom got caught in a Walmart allegedly doing some, very inappropriate things. Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor, essentially. You guys can look into that rabbit hole, but after that rabbit hole, Akadidler befriended another one of his fans, I guess you could say, someone who was a fan of Akadidler, and eventually this guy ended up running the Academics TV Twitter account. Grand Wizard. Now, Drake is actually friends with Grand Wizard as well. There were some DMs that leaked earlier this year. I did a video on that, where you can see Drake was calling Grand Wizard Grandy. So they're good friends. They have nicknames for each other. And Grandy was sending Drake teasers of the Not Like Us music video right before it dropped. They were talking a lot. They were very good friends. They were chatting on Instagram. And when Grandy's Instagram got hacked and the Drake messages had leaked, Drake had actually paid someone to retrieve and get back the Grandy Instagram account. So Punch here is implying, when he says, doesn't the homeboy write the captions on the Academics TV page? It's kind of up in the air. Is he talking about, does Drake write the captions? Or is it Grandy writing the captions? Or is Drake telling Grandy what to write? The captions have been very disgusting. So if it is Drake playing a hand in, concocting these captions, then Drake probably needs some help, okay? But so the suspense kept building, right? So Academics replies to Punch saying, who is homeboy? And Punch says, you know who homeboy is. So Ak replies saying, oh, I love this more than I love Big Macs. Let's clarify and set the record straight. Drake never wrote a caption on my page. I have a team that does it. Yes, they are all like me. They're heavy Drake fans, I'm not going to lie. What I said was, last time I said anything on stream about SZA, Drake was the one who personally called me and asked me to cool it and walk back what I had said, saying that SZA was crying for 2 days in the studio while he was trying to get her to do Slime You Out and Rich Baby Daddy. I told Dave Free the same exact thing, and I said that if Drake hasn't hit us about anything that was posted on the Academics TV page, it's probably because he doesn't care at this point, because he does communicate with my people. Do you need any more clarification? Now, it's important to know Drake just had his wireless festival, and he brought out a bunch of different streamers like DDG, Aiden Ross. They were all there on stage with Drake, filming the show, all that stuff, streaming it. But Akadidler actually didn't get the invite, right? He was in Turks and Caicos instead, and he was very loud on Instagram Live, which we're going to touch on shortly, everything that he said. And Academics also makes it known that, he really likes what Nicki Minaj has been saying. He thinks it's very constructive, and if you don't agree, then you probably sold your soul, all right? So he said, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna mind my business for now, but to be honest, I'm side-eyeing everyone who's critical of Nicki Minaj recently.
Well, only thing I can say about that is I feel like that's something like that's between her and them. And it's kind of intricate because the things that she's saying, you know what I mean, is like, okay, well, that's all that shit is just personal. You know what I mean? So it's like I would just stay out the personal business. I just wait for the outcome of some shit like that.
She's only been exposing the demons of the industry. If you against her, you probably sold your soul. Nicki on bad timing recently. She's not lying either. Everybody's just too scared to say the stuff she's saying. Trust. So Punch responds to Akadidler saying, see, you didn't tell the homie, aka Dave Free, when you went to the GNX show, you didn't tell Dave Free that Drake personally handles the negative captions about SZA on the Academics TV page, and Academics said, nope, but you should probably drop the audio of that conversation, sir. It's confusing why you're even asking this, because Anthony Soleil literally told me he knew who wrote the captions for Academics TV and said that he paid a private investigator to figure out everything about them. Truth is, Anthony Soleil talked to me about Academics TV, the Twitter page, saying that non-public people were being mentioned and saying if I could have my employees chill out with the captions and mentioning Kendrick's wife and non-public people. I agreed that non-public people shouldn't be targeted in a rap beef. I literally said to Anthony Soleil, y'all and Drake went super personal. How y'all blaming my fans? My Academics TV alt page is ran by fans. How you don't care about your actions but you're mad about what fans say? I said the same thing to Dave Free, who seemed to be upset with me about what Drake said about Kendrick's child paternity. How y'all win a rap battle but still emotional how far it got? And this is Snackadiddler again just being delusional of the fact that Drake was the one who initiated anything personal in the rap beef, right? Kendrick said, don't take it further. Don't speak on the family, Crody. But Drake had the red button, right? He had the Family Matters nuke that he couldn't hold back, where he's talking about Dave Free being the father of Kendrick's kid with Whitney, all that. But in Academics' mind, it's that they both were the ones that brought things there, right? It wasn't one person started it while the other person warned that person, hey, if you take it there, I'm taking it further. Nah, that doesn't matter. And Academics tells them like, hey, like you guys seem to have all these issues about what my team is posting, what Grandy, the Grand Wizard, what he's posting on the Academics TV page. Really, you should be pointing your finger at Drake and saying, you know, let me sue you.
Hold up, though. Is it just me, or is this some childish shit for real, for real? All this back and forth, like, come on, man, like, it's just music. It shouldn't even be this complicated.
Like you're doing to us. You know, he continues saying, how are you having conversations with me about stuff and you're unwilling to get at Drake about your issues? That seems weird. If Drake was complaining to me about your behavior or me posting your performances, I would tell him, well, go slide then. I also explained the reason it's happening. It's because they kicked off a rap beef with hella personal, non-public people insults. Talked about his mom, his dad, non-existent daughter, and called homie a PDF. TDE are acting like the fans made up the Dave Free and the K-Dot Kid angle, the Whitney abuse allegations, and basically the posting of non-public people like Anthony getting posted by Drake. Drake violated y'all like that, and the fans just laughed and indulged. Y'all made millions and on that tour too. Basically saying like, don't complain to me, you know, I'm just a fan, I'm just engaging in this stuff, right? Like your real problem here, your real bone to pick is with Drake, and you guys also went hard at Drake, calling him a PDF, saying he has a fake daughter and all that. But again, failing to realize that that only came after Drake's big red button of Family Matters. Also failing to realize the fact that this Academics TV propaganda page is single-handedly prolonging the toxicity and the exposing of non-public individuals that were involved in this beef, and they're doing this, you know, almost a year and a half after the beef even happened, right? They're the one spreading this narrative continuously, prolonging these
See, the thing I don't like about this dude, man, is that he throw rocks and hides his hands all the time. You know what I'm saying? He'll broadcast everything about everybody else, but if something happens in his circle, next thing you know, he don't want to share all the information. He get real secretive, but then he act like he a victim.
horrible narratives only on one side. So that is the beef that, you know, Anthony Soleil, Punch, Dave Free, TDE, that's the problem they all have, is that Academics TV is fueling this nonsense, doing so a year and a half after the beef, and sensationalizing it on much higher levels than even Drake himself did by using these vulgar, disgusting different captions, right? But of course, Akadiddler does not care, right? If he's going to be friends with someone who, you know, walked around Walmart doing what he did, not saying he's friends with them anymore, everything is alleged, of course, everything is satire, but, you know, Grandy, the Grand Wizard, he doesn't care about SZA's feelings or TDE's feelings, right? Like, this is all to try and make Drake look as good as possible. And then Snackadiddler says some even more absolutely outrageous things, but he tries to land a point here when he says, you know, the same way you guys called Drake a PDF and people were singing a song acting like it's true, he never once hit me and said, bro, I'm gonna violate you playing that song or posting them, guys. Yeah, because Academics, he loved that song, right? That was his #1 most played song on Spotify in 2024. He continues, Drake took it on the chin. Pause. He knows his issues with the guy who said it in the first place, Kendrick Lamar. Well, I don't think he does, because he's not suing Kendrick Lamar, he's suing UMG. And I don't think he took it on the chin because he's suing over it, right? But he continues, funny thing Dave Free said in the middle of our convo, yeah, I realized the root of my issue is with Drake, and if stuff went left, I'd be trying to take it out on you. Well, that's it, folks. If Drake hurt y'all feelings in a rap battle, y'all posted his house, go slide. Stop tweeting. Crazy part is the supposed winners of the battle are saying this. Imagine what Drake must think or feel with y'all labeling him as a PDF. And he never told me no funny stuff, placing any blame of people liking the song or saying BS, other than his fake industry friends. So he's saying basically like, Drake isn't bothered, isn't hurt by this whole beef. It's you guys, the winners of this beef, that have been insulted by the Akademiks TV captions on Twitter, and you're trying to attack me, you're trying to attack Grandy when you should be going after La Brianna, right? But the thing is, La Brianna's out in court issuing $75,000 subpoenas over Kendrick Lamar's team. So I think both sides are just kind of taking their anger out, or they're, trying to get revenge on different sections, right? TDE is trying to stop Akademiks TV from posting vile things on Twitter. Meanwhile, Drake is out in a New York Supreme Court trying to basically burn down the entire UMG building over promoting the song Not Like Us. So you guys tell me in the comments who you think has been overreacting more to the outcome of this beef. So Punch replies, emphasizing like, look, like we understand, right? Kendrick, Drake, they said some nasty things at each other. They hurt each other's feelings. Like, I don't care about what happened in a battle, but now it's like you got this Grandy guy on your Twitter account acting like an absolute bigot Klansman. And that's fine and all, but once you start talking about like my artists and my team and my people, like that's when it becomes a problem, right? So Punch says, all that is cool. I don't have an issue with nothing the guy said in a battle. Doesn't matter what Drake said in a battle, right? It's a battle, but I wanted clarity on the personal insults away from the battle. So Akademiks says, brother, y'all told me the government name of the person who runs my Akademiks TV account. I don't know what you heard, but official clarification, Drake don't and can't write our captions. However, we do F with him and he Fs with us. Last time he was the only reason why I let off on SZA. Nobody else. That was the point. Because again, Drake made Akadidler apologize to SZA for the nasty comments he was making. So Akademiks caps it off saying TDE beefing with Akademiks TV more than Drake is crazy. Now, after this, Akademiks did hop on an Instagram live, very drunk in Turks and Caicos, his head looking bigger than ever, looking like it was about to explode through the camera. It couldn't even fit in the full camera lens. It was, very big and round. But anyways, besides his round head, he clarifies a few things, right? So basically, the whole premise of this is when Akademiks went to Kendrick's GNX show, he was, confronted by Dave Free, Kendrick's people, and they were saying, like, what the heck is this Akademiks TV guy on? Like this Twitter account that you have running, who is it ran by? We did some investigative work. We found the guy, and Drake is friends with him. He calls him Grandy, right? So is Drake the one that's actually controlling or greenlighting what gets said on this account? And Akademiks at the time, like Dave Free was recording this conversation, and Akademiks was like, we F with Drake, so when Drake doesn't like something, like maybe we can make some things happen where we delete a post or we walk back something, whatever the case is. He doesn't, fully admit that Drake controls this page because obviously it's ran by Grandy, but, we mess with Drake. So they kind of took this as, hey, maybe Drake is actually involved in, getting some of these nasty captions posted up on this Akademiks TV page. But Snackadidler wants to dead the rumor that, Drake is the one in control of his own brand, of his Twitter account, right? It's his fans, apparently, that are running it. The Grandy guys, right? So he gets on IG Live and he says, like, hey, Drake even came to me because I guess SZA went to Drake and said, hey, like, are you the one on Akademiks TV Twitter page, like, posting all this nasty stuff about me? So Drake went to Akademiks and said, yo, like, they're telling me that you told them that I'm the one that's controlling this Akademiks TV page. Like, what is this? And Akademiks, like, he loves Drake very much, right? Like, he can't have Drake hate him, right? Because then how could he get invited to Wireless Festival? No, wait, he didn't get invited to Wireless Festival. How could he get his first stream with Drake? Well, Drake has already streamed with, I believe, 3 or 4 other streamers. So maybe it's too late for that. But how could he get his information from Drake, behind the scenes stuff? Well, Drake gives it to him, but he also lies to Akademiks constantly. So I don't really know what type of relationship with Drake Akademiks has and what he's trying to salvage here. But, he's very fond of Drake. And he says, hey, Drake, like, you think that the TDE guys pressed me when I went to the GNX show? Why don't you go to the one in Toronto?
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
Join the more than 7 million adults, like Michael, who've taken Ozempic.
As touring musicians, my type...
Drake's funny, but when he said that, I said to Drake, yo, are you going to go to the Toronto show? And then I told him, I think I'm going. Are you going? Because if you're saying that I was shook, you should go and go see about it. They're calling you a PDF. So I just want to put all that shit to bed, man. I'm going to tell y'all, everybody just leave me out of this shit, or else I'm going to tell you, nobody going to look good. Because I'm telling y'all, this is a rap beef where I'm seeing a bunch of talk about shit, and I covered every day in Chicago that get over. And there's not a toenail, not a finger, not a bad breath breathed on nobody. Stop it. Punch, stop tweeting. Stop tweeting. You stop tweeting. Y'all acting like y'all can't find Drake? Are you serious? Oh, I gotta show up to your stadium for you to raise an issue, but you had the issue the whole time? Stop it. The only thing I'll say, Drake never said that to me. If Drake had, and I said it on Twitter today, if Drake had said to me, oh, Ak, you know, yo, you're posting this and blah, blah, you know what I would have told Drake? And I told you what I told him. Drake, if you thought I was scared, because I guess SZA or whatever line people told me, if y'all thought I was scared and I threw Drake under the bus, I said to Drake, well, do what I did. Be gangster like me. You show up. You show up. Because I showed up. Show up to what's it called? Rogers Stadium. Show up. If you're not going to show up, I don't want to hear it.
See, once again, the problem that I have, he didn't get turned into wine when he went to the concert. So because he survived the concert by, you know what I'm saying, like just being very passive, non-aggressive, you know what I'm saying, the low-key dude, right? Now he's using that as a trophy saying, you know what I mean, he was thug enough or gangster enough to do something. Why don't you do, you know what I'm saying, the same thing, Drake? I was gangster about mine. See what I'm saying? Come on, man.
So, I'm going to just go back to it. Thank you, Punch, for heating it up again because I thought this was deaded. But here's the thing. Stop tweeting about that interaction. And Dave Free, I don't know if you're telling nobody about anything. Anthony Slay, he was mad reasonable. If y'all, and I know y'all niggas ain't about to do nothing to Drake. I know y'all ain't sliding. I know y'all ain't on shit. No, and by the way, I'm saying on both sides. Everybody's just getting their money. Please stop pressing the other people, or not even pressing. Stop questioning the other people who's not in it. You ain't did nothing to that man, but you asking Akademiks why he posting what he posted? Bro, you know where that live. You put his house on your thing.
And then Akademiks says, like, Drake even went to him after and said, yo, like, I've been hearing that you're telling the TDE guys that I'm the one writing the captions on your Twitter page. What is this? And Akadidler said, no, that's my minion, Drake. I wasn't pressed at the TDE show. I didn't tell them that. Like, I don't know what BS SZA is feeding you, but I love you, Drake. All right, I'll do anything for you. So please do not be mad at me.
You know, Drake hit me and he said, yo, Ak, yo, did them niggas press you? Like, were you scared? And I'm like, I hit Drake. I said, what are you talking about, brother? He says, I know you told him that I'm writing your captions. I said, Drake, them niggas recording in the corner. I had my security. Dave Free was with his security. Nothing crazy happened. I said, did you hear an audio? Because I know they recorded it. But clearly SZA hit him up. And I'm telling this now because, like, yo, I hate when people play with me. Like, I'll expose all you. SZA clearly hit Drake up after the conversation because Dave Free, after I talked to him face to face.
Look at him, ready to tell already. Don't play with me, I'll expose all you niggas. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on.
Went to the back, probably told Punch. Punch tells SZA, and SZA hits Drake.
I told y'all this dude is the hip-hop police, man. He gonna tell on you. He gonna get you locked up. He gonna expose you. You understand what I'm saying?
To say, yo, are you the one writing Akademiks captions? So Drake asked me like, yo, Ak, why would you tell him that? And I was like, Drake, I never told him that. Only thing I said, yo, we with you with us. You're the one who made me stop talking shit about her. Me. Not Act TV. Me. because I was violating her.
And, then Academics, it wouldn't be a live stream without him saying some really ridiculous stuff. So he said some absolutely atrocious things here that it's like you could just tell that he doesn't actually listen to any real hip hop music, right? Because he's so disattached from what the biggest hip hop projects we've got in the last year are actually about, that he only focuses on the drama. And because he's only focusing on that, he thinks they're only focusing on drama. So he points to Pusha T and Kendrick in particular. He says, like, Pusha T, he's made his whole rollout about Kanye West and Travis Scott, right? If you listen to that Clips album, there are only 2 actual instances I can point out that are directly about Travis Scott or Kanye West. On Ace Trumpets, of course, he says, "Look at you, him and him still waiting on Yeezy, you better get your squeegees." And then on the So Be It verse, of course, he's dissing Travis Scott, right? That last verse. And
Hold on, wait a minute though. This is hip hop. See, this is what I mean by people coming in, making up their own rules and shit. And he has a platform, a large platform, and he's saying all this dumbass shit that don't even pertain to the culture. He's giving his version of it, or he's whining about something that he just clearly doesn't understand. He only been in this country for a hot minute anyway. So at the end of the day, it's like this dude does not know what he's talking about.
Academics should be propping up the fact that Pusha T is actually going to hip-hop journalists to speak about the music, to speak about whatever he's talking about at the music, whether he's dissing, whether he's just talking on the album itself, his reunion with his brother, whatever the case is. It's great for hip-hop. That's why everyone's praising this rollout.
And shout out to the Clips, man. The album banging, you know what I'm saying? And I let a drink with Stove Guard on there as well, you know what I mean? So shout out to them.
In the fact that Pusha T is actually going to take the time out of his day to sit down with the Joe Buddens, the Bootleg Kevs, Elliot Wilson, GQ, whoever he's been sitting down with, numerous different interviews, right? And he's doing this for the sake of the world experience that he's building with this album. This feels like a vintage album rollout from back in the day. Academics should like this because it leads other artists to be influenced to actually sit down and talk about the music. And that would help a guy like this, Academics, who builds his career not just off Big Macs, but also off speaking to rappers, right? And no rappers really speak to actual journalists. Look at Drake. He's been dissing his Fragile Ops on XQC and Aiden Ross streams instead of directly going to sit down with a Joe Budden or an Academics to break down the bars, break down the music. No one's been doing this. It's only been Pusha T. And yes, this is his first project since 2022 when he had the falling out with Travis Scott and Good Music and Kanye West. So of course he's going to talk about this on his next life update in the form of his next project. It's only right. But Academics not actually paying attention to what the album is, which, by the way, phenomenal project. I could, do more of a breakdown on that album. Drop a comment if you want that. I've been bumping that album nonstop for the last few days, but because Academics only sees the drama, he thinks that the whole rollout has only been about the drama. So he says that Pusha T and Kendrick, they're the 2 biggest haters, right? And he says that Kendrick made a divisive song in Not Like Us, talking about, that's the other side, they are not like us, and he didn't really prop up, the people who he actually supports. But again, it's like you're just not paying attention to the fact that after Not Like Us came the Pop-Out concert, then came GNX, which was entirely influenced by that West Coast sound that was derived on Not Like Us. He was only featuring underground, unknown West Coast artists. So who exactly is he not putting on? And tell me, is there one diss aimed at Drake on that GNX project? And if Kendrick is only getting his success off of beefing with Drake, then why is it that his biggest hit of the last year and a half has been Luther with SZA, which has no mention at all to anything beef related, anything Drake related? TV Off, Squabble Up, none of these songs are directly about Drake, right? Meanwhile, 3 of the biggest hits Drake has put out since the beef, No Face, What Did I Miss, and Gimme a Hug, those are all about Kendrick Lamar and this beef and how hurt Drake is over everything, right? It's a tissue box in the form of a song for Drake to cry over. So I had to dead this narrative, but I'll play you this clip of Snackadiddler's head busting through the camera as he's talking about how Pusha T and Kendrick revolve their entire career right now, about beefs, about drama. Again, it's like, you just go back to what I said 5 minutes ago, rewind, and you could see there's a million different instances of debunking this nonsense. But you guys are here for the generational crash out, so here it is. Enjoy it.
Pusha T is the exact thing I'm talking about. And it's not him as a person, it's how he's marketing this project and marketing things. It's the same with Kendrick. They're marketing their movement as being anti other things. We don't see, we're not seeing, of course Drake is on his on my revenge, but we don't see, Pusha T, the 10 interviews where he's just talking about.
Wait. So Drake can be on his revenge, you know what I'm saying, shit or whatever. But at the same time, these guys that have been done wrong by Drake, right, can't be on their revenge shit.
Airman, like, yo, yeah, he's a him, he's this. And it's like, dog, it's no way you saved all these thoughts in your head to come do a whole interview rollout to tell us who you didn't like. Yo, there's nothing. Like, I wish his rollout was a little bit more of, yo, this is what my life has been. Come tap in with me. And this is why I said the hater energy. It's like, bro, that's not hate. You decided to roll out a whole album telling us the you hate. Come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like, you're not even telling us about your life. You're like, yo, let me tell you about these.
See, this is how you know people make up shit as they go along. Then they start believing their own hype. They talked about their parents, yo, growing up with the parents, how they were raised. Parents passed away. Rest in peace. At the same time, he's saying their whole rollout was about beef and hate. No, it's not. Also, the album isn't all about cocaine and all that other type shit that most people trying to say that, you know what I mean, that they do or whatever. So I don't really understand, man. Like, it's like a personal war going on. But see, once again, he's not in hip hop culture. Academics is the type of person that just likes music. He loves music. So therefore, he's going to try to dictate things from his perspective. Meanwhile, if he was in hip hop culture, he would know that there are rules and regulations in this shit. And he's violating, his boy has violated and still violating all of the rules. I mean, Drake has broke every rule. He broke rules that people didn't even know that could be broken. He did some shit like, wow, you know what I mean? This dude right here, same thing. I mean, come on, man. You help Ego in top 5 to do like or say things, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, Karma ran into him and now look at him. So it's just a matter of time, you know what I'm saying, before the whole thing collapses around you guys, man.
I don't like. And that's what I'm saying about the Kendrick things. Like, I felt he took the time to tell us who wasn't like him or how much he didn't like another guy more than gather people to appreciate him for what he does. You know? And obviously people always gonna look at a fight. You know, if you see two people getting into it, it's the easiest way to get attention. You say someone's name or something like that, but I don't know, it just didn't feel that good. Look at Travis Scott. Has Travis Scott ever when Travis Scott's rolling out an album, it's about what he has going on. Yo, this is what I have going on. This is my stuff, right? Come into my world. Not, yo, this other guy right here, I hate him. I hate the way he walks, he talks. I hate the woman.
First off, every rapper should be speaking from their own perspective. It just so happens that he don't do the same thing that Travis Scott does. He's an MC. He's out there battling. He's breaking records, you know what I'm saying? Like basically he's changing game, you know what I mean? He's a legend right now and still doing legendary shit. So what are you talking about? It's like you want to party all the time and get drunk and deal with loose women and shit and all that or what have you. Meanwhile, there's another side of life, you know what I mean, contrary to the shit that you like to do and also got your own weird cases going on for yourself. So, you know, wow, man. Ah.
Woman he dates, like, bro, like you're too obsessed with another person. He said, Kendrick, yeah, I'll give you that with the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but let's take that into consideration. When he does Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and he talks about himself, he's not that interested. Everybody said that project came and went. When he's talking about his life,
he's not that interesting. It's because you're not on the same wave. People have different movements and different waves, different mindsets. Just so happens you're not into pro-black anything because you're not from here. So therefore, what he talks about resonates with the rest of us. Meanwhile, it don't resonate with you. It won't resonate with Drake because y'all just simply not part of the culture. So you just like music, you love music, you can do music, however, whatever. At the end of the day, you're not a part of hip hop culture.
When Drake drops records, he's talking about his life and what he's gone through since he made the last album. Kendrick started telling us about like the transgendered people that's in his family, respectfully, and we were just like boring, like you know what I mean?
That's so disrespectful. You can say boring to somebody talking about their life. It doesn't resonate with you. So therefore you're going to tell the world not to deal with it because it's boring, or you just don't like it because it's boring, or however, whatever. Why don't you put an album out, nigga? Let's see how hype and lit your shit is. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, this dude burns me up.
He's he's the most interested right now in full hater mode, which it goes to show maybe your story isn't that dynamic where everybody wants to be a part of it.
We don't want everybody to always be a part of something, because sometimes you do things for certain people. So look at you. You know what I'm saying? Just like everything is a party, like you just want to be around and be in something that, you know what I'm saying, isn't necessarily for you. You're not of the same cloth. Here you go, hating, talking about other people or haters, but come on, bro.
And I think that has to be noted though. It has to be noted.
Oh, I'm tired. Maybe I'll go order a Big Mac. By the way, it's 3:30 in the morning as I'm recording this, all right? So if you
Hey, yo, yeah, y'all check out Rapaholics, man. You know what I mean? Boy, the nerve, yo. Just the nerve, yo. This dude, he's not even from here, and he says the things that he says. People let him get away with the shit that he says, you know what I'm saying? And it's just mind bending, you know what I mean? Very mind bending to me, man. It's mind bending. God damn. But, wow. Just be careful who you listen to. You know what I'm saying? Be careful who you listen to. I'm out.
Lyrics rip through your flesh, Jeff Dahmer. Slim, thick chicken heels bless me in the sauna. Your man, he's a goner. Village shit. Village shit.